to say a lot. Many might not know that John is the only congressman that Martin Luther King ever endorsed. Many do know your long support for H.R. 676, the single-payer bill that this organization has always supported. And many may not know that John is in the process of presenting sweeping legislation to address the jobs crisis, which is certainly one of the most important crises that we face, and one of the reasons why we're all here today.
Here, here.
John?
Brother Frank Llewellyn, I'm honored to be introduced by you. It's good to know that a lot of my Michigan and Detroit and Grosse Pointe people are here. David Green and Dave and Herman and probably others. But this kind of a gathering is one that is really one that looks beyond the immediate geography of where you've come from. It's a global concept that I think a vision that we share, that as this world has gotten smaller, things aren't happening way away somewhere. Too bad about that tsunami way over there. Sorry for all those people. Everything is everything. We're all connected, whether we want to admit it or not. And so as this globe shrinks, so the commonality of the issues between us began to be less separating. And so I come to you this afternoon to first of all thank you for coming to the march. This is an important event that we don't doubt will be played down and misinterpreted by the corporate media. But what's new? We understand the significance of it. We know that when unions, political ideology, clergy, labor, civil rights come together, and just people that are progressive enough to see in this one world concept that we're all in this together, it makes certain things pretty easy to understand where we're coming from. Overriding it all is the quest for peace in the world. We are bent on accidental or intentional nuclear annihilation. And I am firmly supporting Congressman Dennis Kucinich's measure that would make a Department of Peace in the United States federal government. It's long. And then there is the question of my beloved 44th President of the United States. And that is the fact that we are still pursuing war at about the same rate that we were in previous administrations is something that I believe that we should organize around, unite, and make it clear to him through all the usual means of communication, including picketing, protests, and support, and making it clear to him that there probably isn't anybody above the 10th grade who doesn't know that you cannot win a war in Afghanistan. And I'm instructing what is reputed to be the smartest man in American politics. I respect him. I support him. And against that, and he's got to do something about jobs immediately. Yes. Trillions to Wall Street. Yes. So I say that all against the backdrop of the fact that in 2012 there is a highly organized effort to make sure that he is a one-term president. It started even before he was sworn in. It's grown. I only mentioned the Tea Party because they're small and dismissible, but there are much more serious and affluent sources behind this effort to interfere with a re-election campaign of Obama. So maybe you are like me. I've got to stand up for the principles that I was fighting for before he ever set foot in Washington. And yet at the same time I've got to ensure that he is re-elected 2 years from now. That calls for some balancing, but not an awful lot from where I see. I see that us making him more cooperative with our plans is going to strengthen him and not weaken him. And to have this press secretary of his denouncing the left is a automatically dismissible act. If I were president, I would that would be the end of it. We would send him his bags packing. I don't know where he came from anyway. But the whole point is that trashing progressives and the left, and at the same time watching your ratings go down. Gee. I mean, what's so difficult about figuring that out? And so since there seems to be some problem with it, and there is some difficulty, whose job do you think it is to get him straightened out and get him on the right track? Ours. So I look forward to our next meeting. I want us to schedule it. We will have a little larger facility than this, but the food may not be any better. And I thank you very much for allowing me to.
All right.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, my brother.